From the 1950s up until the late 1980s, Mercedes was the best automotive manufacturer in the world. I mean, who else was making a 163 mile per hour car in the 1950s? And it wasn't just the Gullwing. The sedans of the time drove and felt unlike anything else on the road. It only takes a few minutes behind the wheel of a Mercedes made during that time period to understand what I'm saying. So today, on the first episode of the series in which we dive into special cars that are now covered and cherished as all-time classics, we have the W115 Mercedes. The W115 and W114 or Strogate lineup was in production between 1968 to 1976. The aim of post-war Mercedes was to produce a car that was still luxurious, classy and elegant, but could be accessible by the middle class. Mercedes sold nearly 2 million of the sedans and coupes combined, which is a huge number, especially for the 1970s. Today, we are mostly focusing on the sedan. The W114 and W115 were revolutionary vehicles. A newly designed rear axle, called the diagonal swing axle, gave the vehicle exceptional ride quality while also improving stability and cornering performance. Furthermore, the W114 and W115 had 4-corner disc brakes, a huge safety improvement in an era when having disc brakes in the front was considered a luxury. Mercedes gave the Strogate a variety of different engine choices, from the base model workhorse with the 55 horsepower 200D to the top-of-the-line highway cruiser, the 280, with a 6-cylinder carburetor engine producing 160 horsepower or 180 horsepower depending on year and configuration. The more expensive 250 and 280 models could be easily distinguished by the double front bumper. 4-cylinder diesel and petrol cars were assigned to the W115 lineup and all 6 cylinders to the W114. In July of 1974, the 240D 3.0 was introduced with the world's first 5-cylinder diesel engine with 80 horsepower, an incredible achievement for the time. Of course, this is a car from the late 60s, so you can expect the interior to be simple but gorgeous. The classic Mercedes steering wheel and the VDO dials make the cabin a special place to be. It wasn't just the looks though. As the years progressed, safety changes kept the Strogate up to date. In 1973, the softer style steering wheel was introduced to absorb the forces of head-on collisions. Interior controlled wing mirrors, dirt repellent screens on the A-pillars to keep the side windows clean in bad weather, molded dirt repellent rear lights and headlight wipers were all details which set Mercedes apart from the rest. Mercedes was so ahead of its time that airbag testing was being carried out during the production of the Strogate. From March 1973 onwards, headrests and automatic seatbelts in the front came as standard in all vehicles of the series. A coupe was also introduced which featured the 250C, 250CE and 280C or 280CE engines, in which the E stood for electronic fuel injection. The coupes had a lower roofline and a slacker A-pillar. These design differences gave the two-door version a sleeker and sportier look. In January of 1976, the W123 made its way into the market. However, due to the high demand, mainly for taxis, the cheaper variants of the W115 were built alongside the newer W123 until December of 1976. Driving in this thing is where it all makes sense though. That curved hood and the Mercedes emblem make you feel like the king of the road. The ride quality puts to shame that of any modern car, and even with a diesel, I can easily keep up with modern day traffic on the motorway. The best part though is that all that comfort, luxury and elegance was built in a car that was made to last. There is no wonder why so many W115 Mercedes were turned into taxis. Alright, this thing rolls quite a bit in the corners, but it was never meant to be driven quickly in the corners. This car was made to keep you and your family relaxed on those long journeys. And if you happen to have one of the petrol engines, it would get you to your destination pretty quickly too. The Strogate was nothing short of beautiful. With design hints from the more expensive W108, it showcased class, luxury and style, but in a more affordable kind of way. Furthermore, the insane reliability gave Mercedes the reputation it has today. It's a shame it all fell apart in the 90s.